Welcome back! My name is Baller Scuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1982, and today we're going to talk about Yar's Revenge. The story of Yar's Revenge takes us back to Atari. We have been talking about Atari since almost the beginning of Video Games Over Time. We last played a game by Atari in our video on Tempest. Yar's Revenge was designed by Howard Scott Warshaw. Warshaw was originally tasked with porting the Cinematronics arcade game Star Castle to the Atari VCS. Released in 1980, Star Castle has the player blast away 3 levels of protective shields before finally being able to defeat the enemy. Warshaw, however, found that the Atari VCS was not capable of replicating the arcade gameplay of Star Castle. The overall design was changed, although the spirit of the game would remain the same. The working title of the game was changed to Time Freeze. The idea behind that name was Warshaw wanted the game to pause and show the first full-screen explosion in a video game. The story would be fleshed out at this point. The story involves mutant houseflies, known as Yar, defending their planet, known as Razik, from an alien invader. In the shooter, the player controls the Yar, who is defending their planet from the Kotile. The Kotile attacks back with its own projectiles, and can also turn into a swirl and launch itself at the player. Once enough of the shield has been destroyed and an open shot is possible, the Yar must either touch the Kotile or eat part of the shield in order to activate the Zorlon cannon. If the Zorlon cannon hits the Kotile, the level is won. If the Zorlon cannon hits the Kotile while it is a swirl, the player will get an extra life. Some of the names in the game come from the CEO of Atari, Ray Kassar's name. The name Yar is Ray backwards. Even the name Kassar would find itself in the game backwards, stylized as the name of the planet, Razik. If the player destroys the Kotile while it is a swirl, the player can find an Easter egg. During the explosion, if the player positions the Yar on the black line that appears, the initials of the game's creator, Howard Scott Warshaw, will appear on the screen both forwards and backwards. It will appear as HSW WSH, which also acts as a clue to where some of the names originate. Yar's Revenge was released for the Atari VCS in May 1982, developed and published by Atari. The game would come packaged with an instruction manual as well as a comic book named Yar's Revenge: The Kotile Ultimatum. That is the story of Yar's Revenge. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. This is Yar's Revenge. Few things to talk about before we get underway. You might have noticed that the copyright date is 1981. The game was released in 1982. You might have also noticed that it just said Atari, gave no credit to Howard Scott Warshaw, which is probably why he put the Easter egg in the game himself. Number 2, the demo is terrible. The demo doesn't actually play. You just kind of wait around to die in it. And number 3, I will put a link in the description to both the instruction manual and the comic book. I have basically talked about what is in those 2 things, but if you want to see it firsthand, I will put a link in the description so you can see the originals as well. With that said, I am not particularly good at Yar's Revenge. I do try, but everything's just a little off for me. Let's go ahead and get in and see what I can do. We start with the housefly on the left. Thought I got out of the way of that, but I was wrong. Swirl got me. Like I said, I'm not particularly good. We will have to do this a few times. Alright, have opened up a good area. Got the Zorlon cannon activated. That is what is on the left there. Now I can... try to get out of the way. Wait for the shot there and shoot. And I have done it. We have won. So let's do it again. And that's basically it. The shield does change, but other than that, the game is pretty much the same level to level. Alright, here comes the swirl. Yeah, I kind of have to stop shooting in order to get that to work for me. Zorlon Cannon. You do get hit by it. Friendly fire is a thing from the Zorlon Cannon, so once you shoot, you do need to move out of the way. Swirl coming. There it goes. And you might just notice the projectile kind of slowly coming at me time and time again. You can eat the shield. I have not had good luck doing that. I usually try to touch the Kotile in order to activate the Zorlon Cannon. I ran into that. I was in the clear. I didn't think I was, and I ran into the swirl. Like I said, it's not necessarily the most straightforward game for me. Okay. And I'm going to wait for the swirl here. No! I hit myself with the Zorlon Cannon, and I think I got hit by the swirl. Like I said, it's a weird game for me. I have never been good at Yar's Revenge. Okay. We're going to wait for the swirl again. I'm going to try to hit it with the Zorlon Cannon so I can show off the Easter egg. Nope. Okay, touch you. Once again, though, it turns into a swirl. If you touch it while it's in a swirl, you die. So it is kind of a weird one. I'll just hit it there. No, I missed. Now the swirl's going and I don't have anything to shoot it with. Okay, Zorlon Cannon activated again. There. I can't be in the barrier to shoot. Okay. Jeez, this thing is really getting on me. There we go. And I got it while it was a swirl. I don't see the line. It wasn't coming at me. I think it has to be coming at me. Alright, so we're on the third level, same as the first level, it seems. The shield is the same. Okay, swirl. In the clear. Okay. Touch you. See if I can't get the swirl as I'm avoiding the projectile. I lined up the cannon and then forgot to get out of the way. We'll do this. Alright, so I got 18,000 first time through. That's not good, to be honest, but we'll see what I can do as we keep going. Like I said, this is not a game that I am skilled at. Alright, come on. Open, open. There we go. Not there. Okay. Try to go for the swirl. Give myself an extra life. Where are you gonna go? Oh, just missed it. Okay, turn into a swirl again. I'm trying to avoid your projectile. That's where my eyes are right now. Waiting for the sounds of you turning into a swirl. There we go. There we go. And if I've positioned myself on that black line there, that should have done it. Did I have to do it in the middle? I've seen it happen before. I haven't actually done it myself, though, so we are going to try to do something for the first time for me. Oh, wow, that was really fast on that swirl. That didn't give me a lot of warning there at all. Just shoot away the shield. Is that good enough? I feel like I can do a little bit more. Why? Like, one time they gave me a ton of warning and the other time they didn't. I don't understand. Come at me, swirl. Nope. And then I hit it anyway. Not necessarily my goal, but that's what happened. Just trying to shoot things away. Okay, swirl coming. Launched at the right time right there. Can I nibble? Thank you. Okay. We're ready. We're ready for another swirl. We are prepared. No! How did I miss? I thought that was right on there. Okay. Got a cannon ready to go. Swirl coming. There. That was one of the longest swirls that we've had. Alright, I nibbled that away. So now we have an open shot. Not that it necessarily matters because I'm going for the swirl. We have this. Okay, it's coming. That was way too high. And I can't really tell when it's going to launch is the issue. Okay, it's coming. There. Okay, now we're in the middle. And it's positioned... Oh, come on. Alright, so it doesn't seem like it wants to give me the Easter egg. I will show off somebody else getting the Easter egg or me getting it off, you know, recording. And we'll just play this one out because this game does get very repetitive very quickly. There are only 2 levels. It doesn't seem to be getting any harder, at least as well as I can tell. It doesn't seem to be getting any harder or really any other changes. It just seems to be repeating over and over again. Alright, there's a decent shot there. It might have landed if the shield was out of the way. Got it again! I don't think that is the spot. Alright. We're at 37,000 points, so over double what I got my first time. And it just kind of continues to go until you die. Why did I run into that? Like, I always think if the swirl's coming at me, I need to move. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the swirl is stupid and goes in a completely opposite direction. There we go. I'm getting better at the game as I continue to play. Yeah, the same 2 levels, kind of over and over. Doesn't seem to be getting any different. I believe we can change the difficulty settings, but it's still just going to kind of be the same thing. So we're good here. We'll play this one out. All right, can I shoot here? No, get me out of the way of that. This projectile is more just annoying than anything else. Swirl coming. There we go. And there. A little early. It's risky to try to touch the co-tile because it can turn into a swirl on you. It will go for the swirl one more time. That took forever! See if I can get the Easter egg maybe one last time here. No, I got hit instead. I'm at over 50,000 points though. Feel like that's good for something. I don't know what, but it's an even number, so I like it. Swirl, anytime you're ready. Okay, well I wasn't ready. That was way too fast. You were out of position and you missed. The projectile, I think, is going faster now. That might be the difference. Yeah, it wasn't coming at me, so I don't have the black line again. Doesn't seem like I get a ton of points. Oh yeah, the projectile is going a lot faster now. So that is the difference. That is the game getting harder. Is that the projectile moves a lot faster. But that seems to be about it. There we go! 55,000. Yeah, this one just takes forever. And once again, you can't shoot while you're inside the barrier. Oh! Okay. Sure. Swirl coming at me. Just immediately. No! Keep that line away from me! Oh, I didn't even realize I had the cannon activated. The fact that the projectile can't go across the screen like I can is what's kind of saving me here. But I can't seemingly hit the shield anymore. Can't get that to go away. Oh, there we go. Is that my last life? That is. So 64,000 points is my total, and I think that is enough Yar's Revenge. So with the game now played, let's talk about how the game holds up today. Playing the game today, it is fun, but I do feel like it does get stale very quickly, simply because there are basically 2 levels to the game, and they are essentially the same, and as you keep going, the really only change that was noticeable for me was that the projectile that's coming at me goes faster. If there was a change in behavior in the Kotile, I can't really say that I noticed it. It seemed that the Kotile's swirl was kind of random every level, so I can't really say that it was getting faster or slower every level as I progressed. The only real difference I noticed was the projectile. So overall, it does get stale kind of quickly. The game is fun, but it's not something that I could spend a lot of time playing. On top of that, I wouldn't say that it's an intuitive game. I think you do need instructions telling you how to play the game, because the Zorlon cannon is the only way to win, and you have to touch the enemy, which is typically death in most video games, but you have to touch the enemy in order to activate a cannon that can then be shot at the enemy. That is not intuitive to anybody playing the game or anybody that has played any video games before. I would assume that you would need instructions just to beat the first level of this game. And that's not necessarily a good thing at this stage. In 1982, I would not say that is something that is a positive aspect of the game, that it is so complicated that it needs an instruction manual to tell you some of the basics about the game. With that said, I did enjoy my time playing the game. I think that the graphics for an Atari VCS game do hold up quite well. The fact that I do play a mutant fly, and it looks like a mutant fly in the game, that is something that is positive. The kind of glitchy aspect of it with the barrier and the explosion, I don't think held up that well. For those of you that are curious, how he was able to do that was the explosion shows basically the raw game code in, visual form. That's how he was able to get that. And it does show up kind of as a mess, which I feel does work at the time, but as time has gone on, it aged worse and worse. The sound, I would say, is fairly good. It does have good aspects to it, but I feel that it got more grating as you listen to it more and more. So I would say that it's kind of a mixed bag on the sound. The gameplay, like I said, is good, but stale. In terms of replayability, it's not something that I would want to go back to. I have experienced the game. I have beaten 2 levels and therefore experienced all that the game has to offer, basically. It's just going to get a little bit more difficult as time goes on, and that's about it. It does have a slow difficulty curve, which I do appreciate, but for a game like this, it doesn't necessarily work as well. So if you are thinking about playing this game, I would check it out. I would give it a little bit of a try, but I wouldn't anticipate playing it more than 5-10 minutes because it does get repetitive very quickly. And that is my modern take on the game. When the game was released, Yar's Revenge was not received well by critics. The game was seen as stale, static, and boring. The critics wanted progression and differences between levels. However, the audience enjoyed the game. The game would go on to sell over 1 million copies. As time has gone on, the game has remained popular with the audience, and the critics have turned around on the game. The game is now considered a classic, and some hold it amongst the best games of the era. Atari, to help capitalize on the popularity, would publish 2 records about the game. Produced by John Braden and released by Kid Stuff Records, one album contained a theme song and a dramatic reading of the story. The other album would tell a different story around the lore of the game altogether. Yar's Revenge would see re-releases, remakes, and even a sequel. We will keep an eye on those as we continue. Atari would of course continue to be profitable with the release of Yar's Revenge. We will continue to track the story of Atari as we continue. As for Howard Scott Warshaw, this success would not be the only video game he would make. We will be hearing from Howard Scott Warshaw again as well. That will do it for the story of Yar's Revenge for now. My name is Baller Scuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when we talk about a different kind of revenge.